Going live.
Welcome to today's Senior Living. I'm your host, Doug Foster, and I am so happy to have you here with us today. This is our fourth podcast. So, George, we have made it to our fourth.
Yes, we have.
And we're going to keep on making it.
Keep on making it.
God is good.
Yes, He is.
All the time.
All the time.
Do we have a caller on the line, George?
We sure do. We got Miss Latoya Foster on the line for you. Yeah. Does that name ring a bell?
I mean, it does.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll let you introduce her, and then we'll bring her on the call.
Welcome, my lovely daughter, Latoya Foster, is on the line. So, all of you people out there in podcast land, meet my daughter, Latoya. Latoya, are you there?
I am here. Good evening to Today's Senior Living Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. This is round 4.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
Well, Latoya, it has been a process. Let me say it this way. You know, we have been doing everything that we can to put today's Senior Living Podcast in motion, and now we are in motion, and we have you, and that sort of kind of make it real. It makes it right, doesn't it, George?
It sure does.
It makes it right.
Yes, it does. We've been waiting on this one.
We've been
Well,
waiting
first of all, I just want to say, congratulations to you, to George. This has been a labor of love for you all, and you all have done something absolutely amazing and extraordinary. And I want to give you your props. That's a big deal.
Oh,
That's
thank
a
you,
really
Ms.
big
Toya.
deal what you all have done.
It is. And still, we still got more to do, Latoya. We're gonna get our Zoom package together.
That's right.
That's okay, but this is groundbreaking, and I love it.
Yeah. This
And
is
like we were saying earlier, the biggest part is to just start. That's it.
That's right.
You just have to start.
No question.
So kudos to both of you. I'm so proud of you guys.
Well, I'm proud of you. So why don't you tell us what's going on here in the city?
Well, you know what? The only thing I would say about the city, and there's always things going on in our city, the nation's capital, but I think the biggest thing right now, since I'm on my personal time,
That's exactly
what I
right.
will say is that I'm on my personal time. What I will say, most importantly, what's going on in the city right now is exactly 1 week from today. Our city will be voting in the Democratic primary for the next mayor of Washington, D.C. So I would say there's some early voting taking place right now as we speak. The candidates are still out there moving and shaking and entrenched in the community, telling their story and why they think they're the best person for the job. And it's up to the 700,000 residents of the nation's capital, and I believe in Maryland too, to put their best foot forward and to go out there and vote. That's what's most important. To get out there and vote. This will be something new for Washington, D.C. We will be ranked choice voting. So that is new coming into Washington, D.C. I would suggest everyone to familiarize yourself with the ballot, what you can do, what you cannot do. If you're like me, I have to call it what it is. I like to vote on election day. I like to go in person. I like to be out and about, to feel the energy around the city, to see how the people are feeling, and the feel of going to the polls, and seeing all of the folks who are vying for their candidate out there in their T-shirts with their pens and their literature. It's nothing like, if you're into politics, it's nothing like election day here in Washington, D.C. And we're going to wait and see how everything works out. But most importantly, I can't say it enough, people need to make sure that they are voting and understand the ballot.
Yeah, but I've been telling everybody that politics is local, okay? And
all of it.
You start with the Board of Education, the ANCs, the council members race. It's all local, y'all. So go out and vote. I mean, if you don't vote, you don't have no say so. You don't have nothing to talk about.
And then when you look here at the nation's capital, you're going to have a whole new city in the next, as far as leadership, in the next 6+ months.
Yes, that's right.
You'll have a newly elected mayor, a newly elected Congress member, representative on the Hill. You'll have a newly elected 13-member body of the D.C. City Council. Lots of positions there that are up for grabs. Lots of the council seats up for grabs. And depending on how this election shakes out in Washington, D.C., it could force some special elections in certain areas. So, it's just going to be very interesting. I haven't felt this since Mayor Berry passed away in 2014, where I said, that's what I first started seeing, in my view. It was almost a sunrise and a sunset, right? Because he had transitioned, we recognized that there was a new city that was getting ready to emerge and evolve. And we were so used to him being a part of it in some way, shape, or form, and to not have him just seemed unusual. But it was like it was the beginning of a new era. And now here we are with our second MB, Mayor Bowser. And as she is running through the tape in her last 6 months, after 11 and a half years, you feel like, okay, now we're getting ready to see another very, very new chapter of the nation's capital, and where it's headed, what the leadership looks like, and what our next steps will be. So it's interesting times around here for sure. It really is.
But let me ask you, tell us about your trip that you had. Tell us about all the amazing things and the places that you've been and things that you've been doing.
Well, recently, and thank you for asking me about that, a week ago, I was unable to make it on the program because I traveled to Miami, Florida, on behalf of Mayor Bowser and Washington, D.C., to talk about why D.C. is a creative capital, power and production. I was invited by the Motion Picture Association to sit on a panel and to speak on a panel to discuss D.C. as a creative capital. So I'm very excited about that. My team and I went down. We met with a variety of studio heads. And when I say studio, I'm speaking of Amazon, Netflix, Sony, et cetera. We met with a lot of producers and a lot of different leaders in the entertainment and the creative world. This was the 30th anniversary of the American Black Film Festival that's taken place down in Miami, Florida. So a good friend of mine from the Motion Picture Association, his name is John Gibson, and as ironic as it is, John and I are both Eastern Senior High School alumni. We were both Ramblers. We went to school at the exact same time and never would have thought we would have crossed paths in this industry, but we did. And since we reconnected, we've been able to make a lot of magic and do a lot of great things for our city as it relates to Hollywood in the city. A lot of people don't realize that the Motion Picture Association is headquartered right here in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely.
And it actually sits where, and everyone will remember this, where Black Lives Matter Plaza once lived, right there.
Right.
At 888 16th Street Northwest.
Yep.
And it's been there for 100 years. Like, it's really not new. But we were able to come together, and John said, I think we need to do this thing. I think we need to do this panel. I said, you know what? You make it. I'm down. And it was myself, John Gibson. He is the Vice President of Industry Relations and Public Relations for the Motion Picture Association, as well as a good friend of mine, Priscilla Clark, who is a publicist and PR guru. DJ Richie Sky, who many of you will recognize. He does a lot. As a matter of fact, he's an influencer. And he talked about, I'll tell you more about him, but he talked about, navigating the world of YouTube, content creation, and being an influencer. And then we were also joined by Cameron Lawson, who has a great podcast called The Opening Scene. And I was very surprised at the number of people who woke up and showed up on a Friday morning to hear about Washington, D.C. as the creative capital. And as a matter of fact, I was touched by the number of people. I mean, it was a full house where people wanted to hear exactly what opportunities do lie here in D.C., what films are coming to D.C., why folks should take D.C. incredibly seriously, not just for the politics, not just for the government, but for non-traditional careers and opportunities such as this. I was able to talk to them about how we've been able to attract a number of great films here to the nation's capital, a number of series that we've been able to have shot right here in the nation's capital, and some that you all would be very familiar with, such as Marvel's Captain America, Netflix Zero Day, The Night Agent, The Resident.
I know you got a lot to talk about, sweetie, and I love you, but I don't have but a whole lot of time, and George really going to kill me if I don't wind down, okay?
Oh, that's not you.
So
well,
Latoya,
that's my time.
So until I see you on Saturday at WOL 1450 AM from 2 until 4 on today's Senior Living, you have a great evening, and I'm hoping to get a chance to talk with you a little later on. So welcome again to today's Senior Living podcast. We'll see you a little later, okay? Thank you again, baby.
Bye-bye.
Well, George.
Yes, sir.
Latoya can get on a roll, and I'll tell you, once she get on a roll.
Oh, man, she was talking some good stuff, man.
Yes, she does, because a lot's going on here in the city,
I'm telling you, yeah.
And I'm very proud of what's going on here in D.C. But I'm also as equally as proud of what's going on in PG and as well as Montgomery County and Fairfax County.
That's right.
Also, because that's part of the DMV, okay?
Yes, sir.
And there's a lot going on out there. And we need to take advantage of a lot of that stuff going out there because, last week we had a giveaway last week, and the sponsors of the giveaway, that was 4 churches. That's Antioch. That was Antioch Church, Baptist Church, and Gateway Cathedral, Greater St. John's Cathedral, and the Sanctuary of Kingdom Square. And they said they had a humongous turnout, and they thanked us, George, for the work that we did in terms of getting a lot of people out. You would not believe that this podcast got a lot of people out to out to that venue, and a lot of people that was there was telling them that they got the information from our podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
So they did send me a letter of thanks. So we're gonna have more of those, George. I mean, this ain't the first, and it won't be the last.
Absolutely.
But I want to also give a shout out to a couple of folks. I mean, I want to give a shout out to Coda Grand. Okay, Coda Grand is having their Great Escape. Okay, and that's going to be on June the 20th. Unfortunately, that's Juneteenth. Okay.
Yeah.
and,
Juneteenth.
and that's on Juneteenth. But the fact is that they're going to have that in Baltimore at the harbor. So Juneteenth, and we got the 2026 Ward 7 Juneteenth parade is scheduled for the 19th. Okay.
All right.
We also have the Anacostia Skate 50 years of community on wheels, starting June. That was started June the 6th. Okay.
Nice.
Well, I tell you another thing that going to be happening here in D.C. that we're going to have the Ward 8 clergy faith leaders breakfast at Emmanuel Baptist Church at 2409 Angel Place Southeast, and that's going to be Saturday on the 13th. You know, so there's a lot going on here in the city. Okay.
Yes, there is.
And I don't want to miss the fact that, you know, we have every year we have the D.C. Senior Pageant, and that's going to be on Sunday, June the 14th. And I was going to tell Latoya to find out a way that we can get tickets, because this event is really a nice event, George. So
I've never heard of that.
yeah, I mean, it's the seniors. It's a senior beauty pageant.
Wow.
Okay, and it's diamonds and pearls this year. It's always at the University of the District of Columbia at the Auditorium Building, number 46. Okay.
Nice.
So a lot of that stuff we do. A lot of stuff that they do is extraordinary, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of ladies who are dressed up for this event, and they're 60 plus years old, and you will never believe that they were 60 plus years old, George.
I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. But before we go any further, I still want to talk about ranked choice voting. I don't want folks to forget it, because, you know, our memories are very short, okay?
That's right.
And when you forget about what's going on about voting, you just tend to say, oh, I don't want to go, I don't feel like going. Well, you cannot sit back and say, I don't feel like going. You got to go.
You got to go. I'm telling you.
You got to go. If you don't, you got to go, you know, because there's nobody going to help us but us.
Right.
And there's nobody going to do anything for us but us. So it's all about us. So whether you like it or not, we ain't telling you who to vote for. We're just telling you to go out and vote.
And vote. That's right.
You know what I'm saying, George?
Yep.
So when you get to a place where you just, you know, can't get up and go out and try to vote, something is wrong with you.
Something's wrong.
Let me ask you, can we take a break right now, George?
We sure can. And once we come back, we'll be expecting our next caller.
Okay.
And we can go ahead and continue our conversation last week on men's health.
Absolutely, George.
All right. Taking a short break. We'll be right back for all of our folks out there.
Senior Living. I'm your host, Doug Foster, and we are here today on our fourth podcast program. Do we have another caller on the line?
We do. We have Dr. Mitchell.
Well, Dr. Mitchell, how are you, Dr. Mitchell?
Dr. Mitchell, you're on today's Senior Living. How are you?
Good. Good evening. How's it going?
Good evening, sir. Good evening from Washington, D.C., Doc.
Good evening, Doug. How's it going? Good to talk to you again.
You know, Doc, I'm going to tell you, you are a man of my own heart, okay? Wow. Dr. Mitchell, I got a series going on men's health, and you will know there was the only person I could think about that I could call that we can have a conversation about men's health. So, Dr. Mitchell, tell me, what's your experience with men's health? You and I was talking about men's health at one point.
Right.
But what are some of the things that you have experienced in men's health?
Well, here's the thing, Doug, about men's health. The biggest issue is that we're still plagued by the same comorbidities as women, but we tend to delay or expedite our treatment and seeking out for help. Cardiovascular disease is the number one killer in the nation, including cerebral vascular disease, stroke, prostate, and colon cancer. And for some reason, men, us being the providers and protectors of our family, we take care of everyone else but ourselves.
Wow.
Yes.
And so, as a result of that, and why don't we go to the doctor? Why don't we go and get examinations? Why we don't go and get screening? What's up with that?
Well, the biggest issue I see, Doug, is because we put it off. Just delay, we put it off in the back burner because that's not our top priority. We give any other reason to ourselves, our family, and including our spouses of why we should do everything else but take care of ourselves.
Well, I tell you, Dr. Mitchell, I went on a trip this weekend. I went to Las Vegas, and I went to see my nephew, who was had prostate cancer, and I was trying to get there in time to see him, and I was a day late and $1 short, Doc, and I lost him, you know. And it was a big burden on the family, you know. And I said that Emmanuel didn't have to go like that, you know.
No.
And I had Dr. Carter on last week, and we talked extensively about men's health. What are some of the other things that we need to begin to talk about, Dr. Mitchell?
Oh, the other biggest thing we need to talk about is, as men, our mental and emotional health.
Okay, that's a real topic, and where you see that going, and where you see that, what you see, what's up with that?
Well, the biggest issue, Doug, with mental health is that we're so busy focused on things that we should be doing for others and not so much for ourselves. And depression and anxiety, just about life in general, has become the harbinger of, our male existence. That's pretty much sums it up. I mean, we tend to bottle and hold in our feelings, and we decide or decline to reach out for help, to talk to someone who can give us perspective on our situation. We even close up ourselves to our own family, including our own spouses.
Mm-hmm.
And we let it fester. Yeah, we let it fester and eat us up inside. And many of us men, traditionally we suffer in silence.
Yeah, we do, because we don't talk out. So what is that macho thing?
Pretty much, yes. I'm tough. I can take care and take on the burdens of the world, and I can bear the stress for everyone else, and no one else is the wiser. But quite opposite is it true now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you're a family prac, okay, and
Yes.
you're on the you're like a first line person that that sees everything in the very beginning. And
Hmm.
what are some of the things that you notice most in men's health?
Doug, I noticed that we fail to seek out our primary care providers and doctors to do the basic testing and screenings that we should be required of ourselves on a yearly basis, because you can catch many illnesses and issues just by going in and checking in to find out what's going on when things are not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And as primary doctors, we're supposed to screen for mental health, emotional health, as well as physical health.
Mm-hmm. But we take care of our physical health, but we don't think about our mental health. Is that correct?
That is correct. So as part of the yearly health screen, the mental health exam is actually been incorporated into that too.
Well, why is it that? I mean, I find that women, for the most part, they talk to one another. They have long
Yes.
conversations in the evening, and they'll sit on the phone for hours talking about their health. My wife sits on
Hmm.
the phone. She sits on the phone and talks to her girlfriends just today about her dentist, her uh, dental care. Okay, and I
Hmm.
and they have this long conversation about dental care. But and then they'll talk about breast cancer. They talk about a whole lot of different women things, but men don't have those kinds of outlets. Or do we have those kinds of outlets where that we can begin to start talking and being a little bit more open, vulnerable, and transparent? So what do we have to do that?
We have to create those forums and those safe spaces for our men to be able to do that. Even if it's not with our own family or our own friends, we still should have that open forum, that network supporting group where we can do that. It's got to be a safe space. That's the best way I can say that we should start that conversation. Create safe spaces for us where we can come out and be comfortable and talk about those issues and those health problems. And many of us may not be on the level as say your wife or other women, but we just need a way to start that platform, to start the conversation. That's where we need to do. Just to have that beginning and those introductions to those things, that's where we need to go.
Well, what are the screenings that you guys? What are the most important screenings that we need to begin to start talking about?
Oh yeah. The biggest screen for one for us is prostate screenings. Prostate screening should begin at a minimum of around 45 years, but also depending on your family history of that predisposition, as well as colon cancer too.
Yeah, colon cancer. Yeah, that's true.
The same deal goes with that. We should have pre-screenings for that as well, before the age of 50.
And so why is it that we don't have the screenings on uh, uh, colon cancer as it is with prostate?
Well, in fact, actually, Doug, we do. We do. Well, only because, like I said, it's not only because of our family history, but also the colon and the prostate kind of go hand in hand similarly in terms of age brackets,
Yeah,
how it
yeah,
affects us. You
yeah,
know, you know. Here's the thing: we need to we need to start thinking about it at the age of 40. But at a minimum of 50 years old, we should have at least one screening of that particular system, whether it's testicular, prostate, colon, lung,
yeah.
and
Lung.
so forth. Hmm.
You got a lot of brothers are leaving here, as a result of lung cancer,
That's
and
right.
and a lot of them are using those left-handed cigarettes. So you don't. That's another thing. And we're still smoking. Okay, and I don't
That's
understand.
right.
I don't understand that. when we already know that that's not good for our health. So when we start talking, what is the main thing that you can think about or that you talk to your patients about when it comes down to their personal health?
The main thing is listen to your body. Listen to your body. Do things in moderation. You know, it's always hard to control what we do on a daily basis, but you know, we all, as humans, we're all fallible, and we have our own vices that we deal with every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
the biggest one is food.
Now
And
that's,
it made. Mm-hmm.
that's another thing. We're eating a lot of pork.
Oh, and many other things.
Yeah, we're eating a lot of pork. We're eating a lot of unhealthy foods. I mean, my wife got me eating uh, what she got me, vegan food, and I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
plant based. I don't know what plant based food is. I never had that before, but guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I eat plant based food now. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and it's helping me. It's helping me a lot. You know, it has
Yes.
reduced. I lost a lot of weight as a result of it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
and now the other thing is, Doc, I'm hearing about some of my brothers are talking about, you know, they're losing weight, but they're using losing weight as a result of the needle that they're using, uh, Olympic or what is it?
Ozempic. Yes. Yes.
Ozempic.
Yes.
And I had
Yes.
a brother to tell me today he lost 30 pounds on Ozempic. I said, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But is that the healthiest way of losing that weight as opposed to?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing, Doug. We live in a society that we want fast food health and fast food results. You know, you want it now, hot and quick. But you got to understand, you know, weight loss and health consciousness is a journey, and that's what I try to impress upon folks. It's a journey, so it's a lifestyle. Just because you take a shot to get you where you need to be does not mean it's going to last and give you longevity. You have to create a certain lifestyle to promote that, you know? More exercise, more movement, you know? Less indulgences. Like I said, moderation is the key. Now, that shot, it works because it suppresses your appetite.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It makes you full. It makes you full faster than you can ever imagine, which is why it works best for diabetics. Because
Yes.
diabetics, they lack the hormone that makes them feel full faster. So their body feels like they're always hungry, like they have to continue to eat, which is why they stay in that cycle.
And so our brothers out there wants to use that as a means of losing weight as opposed to just going
Mm-hmm.
on a diet.
Mm-hmm. Diet, you know, you can do intermittent. I try to teach intermittent fasting. I try to promote healthy lifestyle. You know, food and diet changes. Those are the hard things that we fail to maintain. And yes, it's a lot of work. It is.
Yeah, and it's hard to you know, to get motivated to do that kind of stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the hardest thing. I mean, for myself, I can go without food if I have to, because I condition
Mm-hmm.
myself to going without food if I have to, because I do. If when you get to a certain point, but nonetheless, there are certain things that we need to do. Uh, so, what, Doc? Before I leave, tell us about where you're located and tell us about how we can get in touch with you if we need be. I want my audience to
Okay.
know how we can contact you and
Yeah. Well, I can be
how some brothers can contact you for additional advice.
right. Well, I can be contacted. It's Curana Health with my email at rajan.mitchell@curanahealth.com. Through my office number is 336-406-0738.
Okay, that's y'all can say anything you want. You got the information. The doctor is right here. You can call him anytime, and he's going to definitely take care of you. Dr. Mitchell, thank you very much for being on today's Senior Living podcast. And I hope that hope that we can get a chance to be back with you again sometime soon. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We're going
You're
to
welcome, Doug.
Okay, we'll be. By the way, I'm going to have you on WOL 1450 AM at some point, probably next week or week after next, something like that. We'll be in touch with you. Okay.
Okay. Looking forward to it, Doug. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
You're listening to today's Senior Living on our 4th podcast. So we're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back in a few. Take it away, George. And today's
I don't see Foster and Sede in your contacts. To who?
You know, George, I got to learn one thing, and that's to get rid of my cell phone when I come to work.
And she just starts talking at the most random times.
Wow,
man, you know?
wow. Wow.
That's all right.
Well, anyway, George, welcome back to today's Senior Living. I'm your host, Doug Foster, and this is my 4th podcast. But you can also catch me on WOL 1450 AM at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. every Saturday on WOL 1450 or 92.7 FM every Saturday. And we got a mic here open for you at any time. But George, who we got? We got a caller on the line?
We do. We got Dr. Brown on the line. Dr. Brown, you're on today's Senior Living. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Deidre, how are you?
I'm doing well. How's it going on this beautiful Tuesday?
Well, let me tell you, Deidre, it can't get any better than this, okay? And to have you on my show is even a treat. It is a treat. And it's a blessing, because anytime that I need anything that's going on in this city, I always call on you. So I need you to tell us a little bit more about what's happening in ranked choice voting now, okay? Because the election is June the 16th. We don't have a lot of time. So what would you suggest, and what would you tell my audience? I want you to tell them about what they need to do and how they need to do it with regards to ranked choice voting. Get out the vote.
Get out the vote. So if you're registered to vote in the District of Columbia, you should have received your ballot a few weeks ago. It's brown and white. It's in an envelope. If you have not received your ballot, at this point, you're most likely going to have to go in to vote. That just means you're going to go to the polls. Right now, polls are open. We're in early voting season, and so the polls opened yesterday. They'll be open through Sunday, every day from 8:30 to 7 p.m.
Wow.
And then on Election Day, of course, they'll be open from 7 to 8. Election Day is next Tuesday, so that's your last chance to vote. If you do have your mail-in ballot, you have options. You can leave it at the post office. You can take it to a drop box. They have ballot drop boxes all around the city, or you can take it to a voting center and hand it to a election worker. But what I'm asking people to do is please vote. Right now, the numbers have been pretty low. Yesterday, at the early voting polls, they reported about 1,500 people voted. Those aren't good numbers. We don't have the numbers for today yet. And so I'm asking people, please, this is not a time to sit out. As you know, we have very important elections on this ballot. We are voting for a new mayor. We are voting for a new delegate. We are voting for 2 at-large council seats, all of which are contested. And if you live in wards 1, 6, and 5, those races are also contested at the moment. So we have some really important races that we need everyone's voices to be heard.
So, So what seems to be the problem, Deidre?
I'm hearing folks are a little intimidated by the ballot. As you know, this is the first time we're using ranked choice voting. And so when the ballots came, they looked a little different than they normally do. And you are being asked to rank, in some of the races, up to 5 people. I'm hearing people say that they're not going to rank people. They're going to just vote for one person. And I'm asking people, yes, it is your right. You can vote for just one. But I'm asking people not to do that, because what happens is if your candidate does not win in the first round, then your ballot is no longer active during the subsequent rounds when they're counting the ballots. So that means you no longer have a voice in who is going to be elected. And what I'm hearing is that some of us are being told that we should just pick one person. I'm telling you that when I'm talking to other people on the other side of the town, they understand the importance of ranking, and they will be ranking. That means that their voices will be heard louder than ours.
You know that's right.
So we need not to be doing that and telling people that.
That is absolutely true. So if you're out there and you can hear us, I need you to go out and vote. It don't matter when or where, just go out and vote. But let me ask you,
Please vote.
What happens, Deidre, if there's a tie? What happens when there's a tie?
So the Board of Elections already had in place a tie. So it would have to be a tie when all ballots have been counted. So at the end, if there is a tie, after every round has been counted, the Board of Elections already has a tiebreaker process in place, and that would kick in. It's a little complicated how they do it, but that didn't change with ranked choice voting. So that would remain the same. What people need to also understand with ranked choice voting is because the Board of Elections has been trying to get this word out, that there is a very good chance in some races, not in all, in some races we may not know the results on election night. And they're asking people to be patient as they go through and tabulate the ballots, because what's going to happen on election night, they were reporting out only ballots that they've already received and ballots that were cast or during election day that day. And so if in that very first round of tabulations, if someone got over 51%, then that person will most likely end up being the winner. But if there is some less than 51%, that those will go into a ranking system. Also, because ranked choice voting, once again, is based on getting more than 51% of total ballots cast. As they get more ballots in, right, as more ballots come in over the next couple of days after election, it could easily shift and change numbers when things are very close. So they're really asking candidates and voters to wait and be patient before they declare winners, because we might not know in some of the contested races, we might not know exactly who is a winner for several days after the election.
Well, I tell you, I hope that somebody said that they're going to flip a coin. And I hope they don't do something like that, something crazy like that. I mean, flipping a coin for a tie. But nonetheless, I mean, we have been in touch with Mrs. Evans, who is the director for at the Board of Elections, and she's been on my program every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks, sort of kind of giving an overview of what to expect with ranked choice voting here in the District of Columbia. We also got the elections in Prince George County as well. So what do you know about that?
I think their elections I think they start early voting on Mondays. I think they're a little bit behind us, about a week behind. But, that is also an area where if you should vote, because there are very important seats that are going to be up in Maryland.
Yeah,
and we all need to have a voice in these elections. We can't let other people decide who our elected officials are and then complain about it later. Like, we need to be more active in making sure that we are deciding who our elected officials are.
And we got some major elections out there in Prince George County as well as in Montgomery County as well. So all around here and all around the DMV, we need to be focused in on voting, not just in D.C., but all around the DMV, because we're not talking about, we're talking about your livelihood, people. I mean, we're talking about people's jobs and people's well-being. We're talking about your Social Security. We're talking about your Medicare and Medicaid, because they're trying to take it all away from you. I'm telling you now. Am I right about it?
You definitely are, and it's really important that we start paying closer attention. For some of us are paying attention, but a lot of us have tuned out because we have so much going on. But these elections are really important. These are the people who are going to be deciding, making decisions for us. And some of those decisions may help us, and some of the decisions may not. And so we need to make sure that we know who we're actually electing and where they stand on the issues. There are, at this point, especially in D.C., there's been tons of articles and questionnaires and forums. You can go back and watch the recordings. You can read the questionnaires. Like, if there's an issue that you care about, like housing and education and public safety, you need to know where these elected officials stand on those issues, these candidates rather stand on these issues, because what they say when they run is most likely how they're going to vote later. And so you really need to know if these people are for you or against you.
Especially our seniors. Our seniors is the strong. Those are the people that gets out in front of it. And I'm not seeing as many of our seniors motivated to get out there and vote. So what are we going to say to our seniors, Deidre?
The senior population, we count on you. You're our super voters. And you have the wisdom to know
indeed.
when a candidate is not being truthful and honest. And so I need you to, if you don't know about the candidates, learn about them. And please, please, please vote. Board of Elections, if you have not mailed in your ballot and you do show up at a poll, Board of Elections will come out to your car for seniors. You don't have to go inside.
That's right. You don't have to go inside.
I would say that this today and yesterday I was watching. They have a real time, I don't know what you want to call it, but they were showing the status of the waits at each of the voting locations. In all of the voting locations, yesterday and today, there were less than 5 minutes wait. There was 2 locations that had a 15 and a 10-minute wait. I'm not sure why that was at that 2 locations, but the rest of the locations are less than 5 minutes wait. But if you're a senior, they will come out to your car and bring a ballot. So we're encouraging everyone to vote, and we're counting on our seniors to get out there and vote for us.
Well, I'm telling the young people that are 18 years old that they can register to vote also, and many of them are telling me, I don't know anything about it. Well, let me tell you, it's time for you to learn about it. Remember once upon a time, Deirdre, we used to have government in the schools. Do you remember that?
I think they still do. I know that all D.C. High school students have to take D.C. government in order to graduate. But we do need more about helping our students understand the importance of voting and registering to vote. And we probably should start when they are 16 or 17 or 18, because actually in D.C., you can register to vote. You just won't be able to vote, but you can register once you turn 17, and then it'll automatically kick in when you turn 18. So we make it really easy for students, and that's maybe something we can work with some of the government teachers in these high schools, asking people, not telling them who they should vote for, not telling them which party they should vote for, but making sure that they're actually registered to vote.
So my question is, are they listening to these people? Are they listening to the educators? Are they listening to the teachers about government? If they listen to the people about government and citizenship, many of them will be going out to vote anyway. And they should start them registering to vote in high schools. They should start them. They should have the forms there so that once they turn 18, they can register to vote. They'll go out and fill out applications for their driver's license, but they don't talk about voting. What's up with that?
I think it's important as well, and I think this is something we just need to work with our school board.
Yeah.
And with our, like I said, the history teachers, because I think what's happening with a lot of young people, when you talk to them about voting, they don't understand the importance, right? Because we haven't connected the dots.
Yeah.
We haven't said, this is what happened. Here's one. Remember that person or persons who were voting for the teen curfews? Yeah, that's someone that was elected. Like, you get a say in whether that person gets reelected or not. Like, you got to start talking to them that way, like showing how these elections affect them directly, because these aren't just abstract people. These are people who are actually making decisions.
That's exactly right. Well, again, Deidre, I appreciate your being on today's Senior Living. You have been a tower of strength for us, okay, for today's Senior Living, because whenever we call, you're there, and we certainly appreciate your input and just your enthusiasm to teach and educate all of us about what it is to vote. And I certainly will be calling on you again. You know that, don't you?
I look forward to it. I'm happy to come on anytime.
Thank you very much, Deidre, and hope that you come back again and again and again and again. Thank you very much for being on today's Senior Living.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, George, we're coming down to the stretch, my brother.
That's what it looks like. It's been a good show today.
Well, let me tell you, George, it's nothing like being able to keep our community informed about voting, about education, about being involved. Mm-hmm. Because when you're not involved, George, you don't have nothing to talk about. You got to get involved in your community. You got to get involved with things that are happening around you. It can't be just the seniors alone.
That's right.
I mean, because the seniors are going to be here, and after a while, we're going to be gone. And then and when we be and they're going to wonder, why didn't we find out about this before now? Right. And I'm going to tell you, not a lot of these people out there that you're listening to are for you.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them that's out there that is interested in your well-being. So don't go for the hype, okay?
That's right.
But we have to make certain that our young people keep informed and keep in touch, and get involved. So I can't say any more than that, other than keep on voting.
That's right. Keep on voting. Stay informed. Read up on your candidates.
That's exactly right.
All the people who are in your neighborhood that's running for your local offices, all of that.
Yep.
That's so important, man. I'm telling you, it's very, very, very important.
It is. Well, George, we're coming to the end of our program. And like we say, stay healthy, stay strong, and remember, today's Senior Living is always here for you. But until next week, this same time and same place, God bless.